Hey folks, Don here with my update on my infected tooth. If you care to hear about it, you might not. Either way, this is the down and dirty story of my tooth. About a week ago, today is Saturday, I went to my dentist and said, my tooth is sore. He looked at it and said, oh, you need to have the tooth pulled. And he doesn't do that work. Go across the yard. There's an oral surgeon. So Jim Lovelace, my dentist, pretty nice, super nice guy. Pretty good dentist, I think. Gave me an x-ray. I went across the yard, handed it to the receptionist, and set up an appointment for almost 2 weeks later. I was a little disgruntled. She wasn't the friendliest person I ever met, but go figure. I think those people that work these receptionist counters should be really nice. This woman left a lot to be desired. And I wouldn't recommend her. It breaks my heart that everywhere, it seems like a lot of women are horribly unfriendly to me. I think I have an idea why. But beside the point, she should have got me in sooner because I went over there. I had to call them up the next day and say, hey, I am in so much pain that I need to go in sooner. So she said, oh, come over now and get the x-ray that Jim Lovelace took for me and the paperwork and bring it over to the Aurora office, which is an hour drive. And I still had to wait 3 or 4 days for Saturday. So, I don't know. Very traumatic situation for me because I was really anxious. It's a lot of money. I can't afford this, but oh well. I'll find a way. So it's my fault. I ended up forgetting my x-ray. I set it up on my door. I was just so distraught and upset, and I went to my iPhone, I went to my maps, I keyed in the address in Aurora. It came up right off the bat on both my cell phone and both my mapping on Safari. So I assumed I had a clear shot. No. My GPS misled me, took me off course, drove right by the place. I pretty much had to turn the GPS off and find it. And this was like 5 to 11. I'm really stressed. I walk into the place. I forgot the x-ray. I'm late. I just did not have a good time. And it was a little bit rough on these people. But, you know, when your teeth rot out is one thing. But this tooth was a root canal and a crown, 3 or 4 years old. I think you should get more than 2 or 3 years out of a crown. Kind of feel like the dentist would have said, well, we can put a crown in the root canal, but your crown's going to get a cavity and rot out and you're going to have to get it pulled. And I was like, well, why don't you just pull it now? Because I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to spend $3,000 or $4,000 on my teeth. This is not worth it. I need to lose some weight anyway. So I tell you, if you got a sore tooth, that's a great way to diet. Unless you drink alcohol, and most people that are alcoholics are fat anyway, so that wouldn't matter. Reminds me of a movie called Castaway with Tom Hanks, where if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you have not seen the movie, bear with me while I explain the circumstances. It's a movie about a jet that explodes above the ocean somewhere out in the tropical islands, and it's a Federal Express cargo plane that ends up crashing. And on the plane was Tom Hanks' character, who ends up surviving the plane crash and ends up marooned on a tropical island. The next day, he wakes up and he sees some packages from the aircraft that exploded had washed up on the ocean, or washed up upon the beach in his area. So in one of the boxes was a pair of ice skates. So you're watching this movie. Here's a guy stranded on a tropical island in the middle of nowhere, and he gets a box, and it's a pair of ice skates. Oh my God! What could be more worthless than ice skates? Well, he looks at them, and he sees the string, and he puts them aside, and he goes through some other boxes that had a dress. And make a long story short, Tom Hanks' character has an infected tooth. So he's in his cave, stranded on this maroon island, not sure if he's ever going to get rescued. So he has his impacted tooth, and they're working it up. And he takes this ice skate, and they show a close-up of him, and he puts the back of the ice skate blade in his mouth, and he puts it right on his tooth, the exact same tooth that I had go wrong. And he's holding the skate in one hand, then he picks up a rock, and he starts going like this. And he goes, bing, and he hits the skate with the rock, and the rock smashes his tooth and knocks his tooth out of his mouth. I was ready to do that. And that is one of the coolest movies, even though I disagree with Tom Hanks' politics. That kind of reminded me of that. So to make a longer story short, I'm on amoxicillin, got the tooth removed. I had laughing gas, which, make a long story short again, maybe it's okay. Didn't want to spend it on the laughing gas. Didn't need to spend. So I basically wasted $300. Could have had it done. But the bottom line is, I'm going to be okay with it because I am really glad. I thank God that there are people called dentists and doctors, because I don't know what I would have done. We need these people, so I'm lucky. And thanks for your well wishes. Again, I don't put the video in my Facebook page, but I do have a YouTube link. Maybe people get tired of going to Facebook and seeing videos. So if you want to see the video, click my link, the YouTube link. And I'm in the process of trying to learn how to do podcasts. This is a video cast. It's called a podcast for slang because many podcasts are video recorded, but I'm going to categorize this as a podcast with video. It's a little dry, it's not edited, it's kind of hard to sit through, so hopefully this will enlighten you. Be thankful if you're not in pain. Have a good day.